Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good to see everybody back. Alex with you here again as usual. Always great to see everybody tuning in and watching my videos. In today's short video, I just wanted to kind of show you guys one of my older clocks here. This is the clock that I used to play tournament games with, the Excalibur 2 game clock. This used to be a very standard clock. It was approved by the U.S. Chess Federation. This was probably, you guys have seen these many times and probably are still playing with these clocks. In my opinion, and I haven't had a lot of chess clocks, but in my opinion, these little guys are awesome. And I would highly recommend these clocks to just about anybody. There's a lot of different chess clocks. There's digital chess clocks, there's analog, and nowadays they have new varieties where you can either set the time with your phone, which is also really cool in my opinion, or I've even seen ones that you have the buttons, the physical buttons, and you place your phone, and your phone actually acts like a display. So that's really cool too. But in my opinion, with all the advanced technology out there, I'm the type of person who would say I would always prefer to have the type of clock that doesn't rely on like Wi-Fi, that doesn't rely on you having your phone, because in some situations you want to get away from all that and you want to go to the park with your friend and you want to leave your phone somewhere in the car or at home, and you don't even want to be bothered by that type of stuff. And although, this advanced technology might seem very enticing, sometimes, you just want something that's just very independent of all that. And that's kind of like why I enjoyed this particular clock. It's simple to use. It's a little bit tricky because if you look at the back side of this, it's got this whole little graph right here that's got all the different presets. So you have to learn how to use this. And for the longest time when I used to play this, I got this clock for like 40 bucks, and I'd bring it to the tournaments, and the opponents usually would just set the clock for me. Now a lot of times, because this was such a ubiquitous, such a common chess clock, they would like if you go to a big tournament, they would say, all right, anybody who has the Excalibur, please set your preset to 64. And that way all you had to do is you turn it on, you press the you turn it on like this, you press the select button right here, and then when you press the select button, like it's got to be in the pause mode, press the select button, it'll allow you to choose a preset right over here. And then all you have to do is get to the preset that you want, and then you're ready to play. Okay, so really cool. Like I said, the back part of it does require a little bit of learning. You have to learn kind of all that. And there's explanations here for what goes and what, a little bit of an instruction thing. I really like this particular clock for a number of reasons. First and foremost, these little buttons right over here, they are big and they press really nicely. You got one, you got the other. You got one, you got the other. Nowadays, if you have had chess clocks before, some of the analog ones, they'll have the little tiny little metal pins on top that you press, which it's fine. It's not going to take you away from your pleasure of playing chess, but when you have these nice big buttons, you don't have to worry. Did you press it all the way? Did it register? It's nice. In my opinion, it's nice. Now, sometimes because these big buttons are so big and easy to press, these buttons do break over time or can get abused, especially if this clock is used by somebody who doesn't necessarily value it so much in high blitz games or anything where you have to press very fast. I have seen where the inside, the bottom part of this button stuff gets really used up, and then like mine is in fairly good condition to where when I press on these buttons, there's a little bit of a push, like a resistance to it, and everything kind of feels nice when it presses. But as the buttons get used up, eventually when you press, it feels like it's really light to press, and you can tell there's a difference. You can tell the clock's been used, but that's after like many games. So that's one of the things that I like about this particular clock are these big bulky buttons. And another thing, the reason why I like these buttons is like when you're playing the game, you can take your piece, or like let's say you took the opponent's piece, and you can use the bottom of the piece to hit it. Like you can, so that way, for me, that's what I found. Like, because the buttons are so big, you can just pop. You never miss that that depression of the buttons. Which the second part of it is the digital timer. The digital timer here is very clear and easy to see. And for somebody who's playing a game, the last thing you want to do is sit there trying to decipher. Like for me, analog clocks, like some people are so used to them, they would not even accept the digital like a readout like this. They love the analog. But for me, the analog is always like, nah, how much time do I have? I like to know exactly how many seconds and how many minutes I got left, because if I have 15 seconds versus 20 seconds, I'm gonna be able to try to prioritize my time accordingly. But like when you're playing with the analog clocks, a lot of times when it starts to get to the very end, there's this little like red flag usually, and it starts to pull the flag up, and the flag starts to go up, and you're in some big trouble once your flag starts to raise up, because as soon as the little arm goes past the flag drops, that's it, you're done. But it's always hard to like, especially when you're concentrated on the game. How many seconds do you have left? Like, is it almost there, or is it about to drop? And here you could see exactly, like, okay, I got this many seconds left. I got 7 seconds left. You know exactly how much time, because it's so easy to see, because it's just overall so like big and clear. Okay, so that's another reason why I like this clock. The base of this clock is like really wide too, so when it sits down, it's got a very nice, like some of the analog clocks are like really big and thin, so you always feel like it can topple over. But because the base of this clock is so broad, it's got a good stability. And then on top, on the bottom of the areas right over here, you got these rubberized little pads that allow the clock not to like move around or anything like that. So that makes it nice too. When you lose the game, or whoever's time runs out, there's these little two red knobs on the side. It will start blinking and it'll beep, so there's no confusion, somebody's time ran out. So that's really why I like this clock in particular. The back side of it uses this sort of like what I call a coin screw, and if you open this up, it allows you to put batteries in here. The batteries do last for quite a while. The underside here, as you can see, uses four AA batteries. I'm sure a lot of you guys have had this particular clock before. What is your opinion about it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think there's something better? I have that the DGT Pi clock that I've still been meaning to review, but I haven't had the chance to get one of those DGT boards to really give you guys a thorough review of it. But I always enjoyed this clock. I think it's one of the more successful models out there. It's probably around $40–50 still. But overall, just a very, very solid, well-made chess clock. So if you guys are out and looking for clocks, let me know like what you have found, what works for you, what you like better. Do you like digital chess clocks? Do you like analog ones? What's your opinion about chess clocks in general? Like for me, I am actually like, I don't really like chess clocks. In fact, I like chess clocks almost as much as I don't like notation, because it just, like when I used to go to the tournament events, the time for our games was 30 minutes with a 5-second increment, and that was never enough time for me. Like I always felt like I was running out of time, because 30 minutes, it just doesn't seem like a lot. Now when I used to go to like state tournaments, a lot of times you'd end up getting an hour per side, and then you have enough time to really think your thoughts, really think your combination or your moves or whatever. But 30 minutes was never enough time. And every time I looked at that clock, I was getting more nervous. But if I had to choose a clock that I would play on a tournament, I would probably choose this one out of all of them. So that's that. Notation, I really don't like taking notation. When you go to official tournaments, they sometimes require you to do notation. And if you choose not to do notation, a lot of times they'll take off a certain amount of time off your clock. So like if you got the 30 minutes per side, you'll start off with 25 minutes instead of 30 minutes. But to me, I don't know, I guess if you play enough tournament games to where you're so used to notating, it doesn't bother you. But I don't do it often enough, and I feel like if I'm focused in on the game and somebody tells me you must notate, every time I pull my eyes away from the board to write these numbers down, I lose focus. I lose focus, and then I have to look again, and I have to start my computation one more time. And a lot of times that's just, I end up losing more time notating than if I weren't notating. So but a lot of these tournaments, they tend to be very strict about those guidelines, like you have to notate, which bothers me. But I mean, what can you do? Like one time I think I was just losing because of time, because I was just having to constantly notate all my moves, and I was just like, oh geez, you know. And especially it gets crazy because like sometimes in a situation where you're getting to a heated point and all of a sudden you and the opponent make like 5 consecutive moves, and then you have to sit there and notate them out, and you forgot where did somebody go, like I know it's useful to notate your games in real life, because then you can go back and you can review your games and see where you messed up or see where you can learn. But I honestly don't feel like it's right to impose upon people that they must notate their games. I don't think that's right. Well, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this short video, hit that like button, and stay tuned for some more videos up ahead, okay? Hopefully everybody has a great week or a great weekend, and we'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye-bye.